This is Billy Polson from DIAKADI Fitness Performance Life in San Francisco. I'm here with Darwin Ruiz, a health coach as well as a personal trainer here at DIAKADI. Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it. So we wanted to get a chance to talk to you guys a little bit about stress and its involvement in your health goals, as well as fitness, as well as just living a healthy lifestyle. That's something Darwin actually has done a lot of studying and research on. So I'll let you kind of take the floor, maybe just kind of describing how you define stress, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing about stress is there's two key components to consider when you're talking about stress. Number one is the stressor, so whatever it is that's creating stress. But number two is the stress response, which is essentially what your body does to restore balance.
Okay.
Right, so stress pushes you out of balance, and the stress response kind of restores balance.
Okay.
So the reason that's important is because stress is part of life, and the goal is not to really get rid of stress, but really to minimize chronically activating that stress response in the body. Because over time that can create problems like fatigue, chronic pain, digestive issues, things like that.
And I think that's something that most people don't realize. They have some of those symptoms, and they go to a doctor because they're having stomach cramps, or they go sometimes even to the ER, right?
Right.
And they're not able to necessarily tie and make that connection to it being a stress-related issue. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm hoping to get some advice.
Right, and stress can come in different types. So there's physical stress, you've got nutritional stress. So physical stress would be, for example, physical injury, maybe poor posture, muscle imbalances, and nutritional stress might be not regulating your blood sugar. So if you're not eating frequently, if you're eating poor quality foods. So stress comes in different types. It's not really just the mental emotional that we tend to really focus on.
Definitely. And the mental emotional, I think, is what people recognize.
Right.
Like you said, and the other side of it is not necessarily something that people link to being stressful, but they all kind of add together into compounding the issue.
Right. And there's also good and bad stress as well. So, for example, with physical stress, a good form of stress would be exercise done at the right intensity for the right person. Nutritional stress would be sort of like the actual activity of digesting your foods, metabolizing your foods. But then you've got the bad stress, which would be, for example, exercising too much or too little for the person. So it comes good and bad.
And that's one of the things too, in terms of recognizing that they are all stressors. That if you have, let's say, high work stress, you're going 14-hour days, and then you have high life stress that you have an infant or two at home. Then you have sleep stress, the rest lack of.
Right.
You're sleeping 6 hours a night. And then a lot of people then want to add on top of that, they need to lose 50 pounds.
Right. Yeah, so it comes down to really just balancing out really how much energy you're putting out there and how much recovery you're actually allowing yourself to have from proper sleep, eating the right foods. Whether in terms of exercise, some people might need maybe more flexibility work, some people might need more strength training work, so doing the right type of training for your body's needs is really important, but again, at the right level, the right amount. And a lot of that comes down to really assessing for yourself after, let's say, a workout. Do you feel energized? Do you feel like you had a really good workout? Or do you feel kind of drained and sort of more fatigued? Right. So kind of a little bit of self-assessment is really important.
And you know what's interesting? I think a lot of times the self-assessment is helpful. Even as you're coming into a workout, what is your mental, image of that workout? Like, I always think for myself, if I'm walking into a workout, like, I love working out. Like, it's one of my favorite things, is a total getaway. If I'm walking into a workout dreading it, that's my kind of red flag. I'm already at capacity, I'm already like under-rested, I know, or under-nutrition, or undernourished, or something's happening, and that's my red flag. So I think it is something to even look at your workouts coming into them. Like, you're looking forward to it, because it is it's a benefit and a treat that we're able to work.
Totally, yeah.
So let's say someone is at full capacity with all those things, like work, life, nutrition is not great because there's not much time to eat, sleep is low, and they're wanting to be healthier, they're wanting to lose weight. how would you prioritize kind of chipping away at the things on their priority list?
Well, for me, my approach is to really focus on the foundation, which is more nutrition and also sleep.
Okay.
Because that's really going to create a foundation where your body will be able to withstand whatever stressors you're dealing with. So whether, a lot of times you just can't eliminate whatever it is you're struggling. You've got to go to work, you've got demands, you've got responsibilities. But if you're really providing a foundation for support, then your body's going to be much more able to handle all of that. So I'd start with nutrition and sleep. So look at your nutrition. What types of foods do you think you could be eating that might support your health? What types of foods might you eliminate that might be hindering your recovery? In terms of sleep, what are your sleep habits? Are you staying up later than you know that you should? Are you stimulating yourself with television, computer, or maybe caffeine, like coffee in the evening or things like that, that might be disrupting your sleep?
And around sleep, do you have a goal, number of hours or time?
I think a lot of that is person dependent. I think really, by 10:30 p.m. to me, I think is a good time to be going to bed. And I think also not sleeping too late, because you want to kind of set a rhythm and a pattern, and you don't want to disrupt that by altering your sleep hours from day to day. So I think consistency is much more important.
Okay, so nutrition and sleep. And then anything else that you would talk about priority-wise in terms of chipping away at those big life stressors in order to become healthier?
Yeah, I think just kind of looking at your day-to-day, your schedule. Do you have moments throughout the day where you can take a break, step away, take a few breaths, kind of clear your mind a little bit? I know a lot of people eat lunch through their, or they work through their lunch hour. They eat lunch at their computer, so allowing yourself some time to step away from everything to help you get some clarity, I think, is really helpful.
Any last pieces of advice, or maybe even references that you would send people to in terms of further research or further ideas to look into?
Yeah, one of my favorite references is a really great book called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers by Robert Sapolsky.
Okay.
And it's a great book. It's some science in there, but it really is a comprehensive look at how stress can affect all systems of the body, from reproduction to sleep to digestion to memory and the immune system. It's a really, really great reference.
Cool. And there's also another book. It's if they want to look more deeper into meditation, it's a Buddhist meditation, very great beginner book with little exercises called Wherever You Go, There You Are. And it's a great book to give you kind of daily ideas, very short 2-3 page chapters that you can slowly learn to build a meditation practice and just kind of being more in the moment.
Yeah, and that's something actually that I find is getting more and more mainstream, is the idea of mindfulness, meditation, mindfulness, whatever you want to call it. But that kind of work is getting really, really popular. I think a lot of people are benefiting from doing that type of work. And it's nothing, like you said, it can be very simple. It doesn't need to be anything really technical or complicated, but really, really effective just for getting some clarity, getting some balance in your life, and just kind of recognizing what your challenges might be.
Right, exactly. And I will say one thing too, meditation always is like a red flag word for a lot of people because they freak out, like, I do not want to sit and just breathe.
Right.
But meditation is just mindfulness. It's whatever you need to do that stops you thinking what's coming and what has already happened. It really puts you exactly where you are. And for those in the Bay Area, Spirit Rock is a great meditation center in Marin too. So I highly recommend that. And you went down south.
Yeah, I did a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, which is really fantastic.
And what was the name?
I think if you look up, it's California Vipassana Center. If you just Google that, I think you can find all the info on that. That was great.
Cool. I recommend just basically keep trying.
Yeah.
Keep trying these different avenues until you find the one thing that helps kind of slow your brain down, slow you down to the point you can actually breathe and enjoy the day-to-day, and then you can start chipping away at those things in the life. Like
Right.
the goal is.
Yeah, and I also just really want to emphasize that the whole point is to not be free of stress, because it is part of the day-to-day. In a lot of ways, it helps us to grow and keeps us challenged. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of good stress. So I think a lot of people come at it with, I just need to get rid of my stress, but it's impossible. So it's really more about managing your response to that stress and allowing your body to withstand it and to be able to kind of thrive in the face of it.
Gotcha, because like you said, it's not going away.
It's not going away.
Right. All right, thanks so much, guys. Good luck.